goes it?
Pretty good, Judge. Oh, with my client. Thought we were just.
You,
I thought we were just having polite
that
conversation. She's doing well. She's actually done with SOP on Sunday. I was just informed by the CLO. The only issue is she owes $600, and they won't release the certificate until she pays. But other than that, she's in good
she's
shape.
completed it.
She doesn't complete it until the 14th. The counselor said she's actively participating. Everything is good. It's just the payment.
Are you working? What do you?
Yes, Judge.
What do you do?
I am a exotic dancer.
So tell me why you can't pay.
I'm not made out of money. I've already paid.
You know, nice passive aggressiveness. I mean,
that's not what I meant.
Really?
That's really why. It's a lot of money that I've been paying, and I have a kid that I take care of. I am trying, and I paid $300 down. I didn't realize I missed my payment, and now I'm so close to the end that instead of $300, it's $600. I can totally get it, and I will.
They charge you double?
No,
She missed a payment in September, and then one was due this week.
Got it. Okay, so but it's the normal course of what she would be paying regardless. Yeah, they tell you, and you know that when you pick up a DWI, it's extremely expensive. It's big business for everyone, and the more DWIs you get, everything doubles up. So, and then after SOP, is that the last thing? Okay, when is she done?
The 14th, Monday.
If you pay it off that day, then they end up dismissing the case. So, you know, the sooner you pay it, the sooner you're done. Do you want to set it for just next week, one day, to make sure that it gets done?
If the court wants to, Judge, I think she'll get it done, but.
I mean, we have to set it for a day, right?
Yeah, that'd be great. So can we do the late end of the week?
Sure. Any day but Friday. You know, the only other thing I'm going to counsel you on is that the kind of business you're in, the peer pressure is absolutely enormous.
Yes.
To consume, you know, alcohol, illegal drugs, all that kind of stuff. So be very wary of that. And then I guess the most important thing is just don't get into a car. Behind the wheel.
Program has helped me a lot, and I like being sober now.
Well, look, the only thing we're trying to impart to you is that if you're gonna get lit, great. Just don't get into a car. That's all we care about. Just, it's really push a button on your phone. Get a car waiting, $20, wherever you want to go. How much money have you paid for all this? Thousands and thousands, right? $20. All right, pick a day.
Thursday, next week, Judge?
Done. Good luck, man. Okay.
Good to see you. Have a good day.
Hey everybody, welcome to American Courts. We got Jamie, ATX Alley, Amanda Panda, Linus, Monica, Fozzie, Mac D, and Throw the Goat. How are y'all doing tonight? Judge Fleischer keeps talking about $20 to get you anywhere in town. That is a heck of a good rate for Uber. Anytime I try to get into an Uber, it's normally damn near $50. So they must have a good deal going in Houston. We've got Judge Middleton, Judge Hayward, some Thurston County, Judge Simpson, and of course Judge Fleischer tonight. Let's jump into Judge Hayward to get started.
All right, Ms. Reed, raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm any testimony you give in this matter will be true?
Yes.
So you can put your hand down. You're represented by Attorney Taylor, who's with you on case 2024 CR 07709 for simple battery, family violence, and simple battery. Mr. Taylor, what does your client plead to the offenses before the court?
Your Honor, that's guilty.
No. I'm sorry?
Your Honor, no load.
Okay, to both? To which one? Because the other one should merge.
To the count one.
Okay.
That's right. This merges into that.
Oh, okay. My bad. I'm sorry.
All right. By entering a plea of no load to count one, you give up the right to have trial by jury or judge. You give up the right to have the state prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. You give up the right to have the presumption of innocence in your favor. You give up the right to confront witnesses, subpoena witnesses, to present testimony and evidence on your behalf, to not incriminate yourself or present any testimony or evidence against yourself. And if you're not a United States citizen, a plea of guilty or no contest could negatively impact your immigration status. Do you understand all of these things?
Yes, ma'am.
That's your basis and recommendation, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On or about September the 14th of 2024, officer regarding in reference to a disturbance. Throughout his investigation, it was determined that the defendant did commit the act of simple battery when she intentionally made physical contact with the victim. R is the first name, last name Kimball, Kimble, by striking him multiple times with her right hand, with the closed fist, and grabbing his hooded shirt with her left hand. Officer Cowell did not observe any markings on the victim, Mr. Kimball. There was a witness to the altercation inside the room. T. Porter, Portr, stated that she did observe the defendant strike the victim multiple times. At that time, the victim and the defendant did have been living together at the Economy Hotel for 2 months. Your Honor, the state's recommendation for count 1 is going to be 12 months probation, a fine of $300, 40 hours of community service for the defendant to complete the Family Violence Intervention Program, and to not have any violent or harassing contact with Rex, R-E-X, Rex Kimball.
Okay.
And then count 2 is going to merge.
All right, Mr. Taylor, how old's your client?
I'm 21.
Okay, who's Rex Kimball?
My child's father.
How old is Mr. Kimball?
He's 37.
How old is your child?
I'm pregnant right now.
Why?
Ma'am,
Why?
he was well, I was homeless during the time. He was supposed to help me get back on my feet. And
I kind of got this, that is the situation, Miss Reed, but by being pregnant again, you digging yourself in deeper.
this is my first time being pregnant, Your Honor.
You said that he was your father of your child? You mean this child? You don't have another child?
No, ma'am.
Correct, Your Honor. She's currently pregnant with her first child.
But that still digs you in deeper. Had you gotten out of the situation of being homeless?
Yes, my parents told me I can move back with them.
Are they gonna let you move back in with them now with the child?
Yes, ma'am. They just told me to do better.
Okay, so Miss Reed, look up for me. You can look at the big screen if you want to see me, but you see me? I'm waving my hand. Okay, so this is the issue. You're 21 years old. You have a child with somebody who is considerably older, who predator comes to mind, but he ain't here for me to fuss at him because you were in a vulnerable situation. But the issue is that your parents are gonna let you come back and stay with them. There's a couple of things you need to know. It is hard for adults to share a home together because everybody wants to be in charge and everybody wants to be an adult. But you have to understand, your parents are going to have certain rules that they, are going to observe, that, they're going to expect certain things. Don't go there thinking that you're just going to lay up and not do anything but take care of your baby, because you're going to have to contribute to the household. You understand? And whether that's working and putting some money into the household, or whether that's cleaning and making sure that, it's less of a burden on your parents. Don't expect that your parents are going to take care of your child. You talk to them and ask them if you need childcare. Don't just assume that because they're going to be grandparents, that's a role that they want to take on. You have to respect that they have their lives and they raised you. So bringing a child into the house, that's not their responsibility. You got me? As a mother, it is important that you know that the how well your child does in life is really dependent upon how well you do. And so at 21, you need to make sure you start thinking about what you're going to do to become an income producing person in life. Like, are you going to go back to trade school? Are you going to do hair? Are you going to do HVAC? Are you going to go to college? Are you going to get some kind of certificate? Are you going to get a job doing something where you can have a stability for your child? You understand? I get the situation with Mr. Kimball and why that might have been a situation. When you're homeless and you're looking for help, sometimes people take advantage of that. But what I say to you is, don't think that just because, you know, you needed his help at that time, that you have to continue to depend on that. You got to figure out how to get yourself on your own 2 feet.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Because your child deserves that. And here's another secret I'm going to tell you. You don't have to have a baby again right now if you don't want to. Condoms are cheaper than child support or child care. You got me? Okay. So I say these things because I see the situation in the bigger picture. And what I don't want to happen is 5 years from now, you come back before me for something. And the next thing I know, you got 5 kids and you're going from pillar to post trying to depend on other people to take care of you and your children. Mm-hmm. All right? Okay. So I'm going to accept your plea of nolo. Count 1, count 2 will merge. I'll send you to 12 months probation, a fine in the amount of $300, 40 hours of community service. I'm going to sentence you to an anger management program, which is a little bit easier than the family violence intervention program. Okay. And if you don't currently have a job and you're unable to pay the fines and fees, your probation officer can talk to you about doing additional community service as opposed to the fines and fees. And because of the situation you're in, I'm going to suspend the supervision fees for probation. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Now, Ms. Reed, trust me when I say that the situation is not impossible, but you have to start thinking about what you're going to do to prepare yourself to be, to take care of your child. There are jobs out there where you can have an income, benefits, time off, like sick time and vacation time and things like that. But you got to be responsible on those jobs. And so just make sure that if you're looking for something to take care of you and your child, you're looking for something that you can do in that vein. Okay. All right. All right. You can go back with the sheriff's office.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Oh, and I'm sorry, you're to have no violent or harassing contact with Rex Kimball. Miss Reed, please don't let Mr. Kimball play in your life. Okay. Make him be responsible for his child, even if you got to take him to court, but don't let him play in your life. All right. All right. Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, everybody. I got some Thurston County. There were some good ones earlier in the week that we got tied up with the storm and everything else. So I'm going to throw in there. Looks like Victoria and Emily joined us and a few others. Good to see everybody. We're going to jump into some Thurston County. They got some fun stuff there. So.
So Ms. Mealing, could you raise your right hand, please? I've reviewed your petition, as well as a letter in there. You swear and affirm the information testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You can put your hand down. How is it that you need an order against Mr. Antonora?
He has a hard time taking authority from our company. When he is talked to, he tends to walk right through any kind of disciplinary and does what he wants. He's hit me in the back room, and when we have interaction, when I go to the freezer, he constantly has to be back there. When I'm back there, he hit me with a U-boat just recently, ramming it into the freezer door, knocking me back pretty hard.
Have you talked to him about this or management?
Management, yes.
And what have they said?
Management, it falls under, I have some statements I'd like you to see.
Okay, so go ahead. Have you seen those, Mr. Antonora?
I don't believe so.
Okay. So what do those statements say? And then
In regards to issues falling on deaf ears with the company, things being swept under the rug with him. Not just me.
okay, what specifically, again, just specifically, what is he doing that you need in order? I heard about the U-boat. Explain to me what a U-boat is.
We put product on it, like our heavy items, and we
Okay.
push them
So
through.
just a cart, basically. And you pushed the door. Okay, what else?
It originally started with a parking lot issue that he had to have, that I had taken for years that I had been at that store. When he found out that I was taking that spot, he told my immediate supervisor that I can come say good morning to him if I wanted it back and ask for it back. That's what, the more I stayed away from Mark, the more he wanted more attention. It was constant. My store manager told him to stop inserting himself into my life. She wants nothing to do with you. This just fueled the fire more.
And so what did he do after that, after she said, leave you alone?
My car has been knifed. Mark runs a knife sharpening operation out of his vehicle in the parking lot.
Knife, what do you mean knifed?
Like, I believe like home butcher knives.
I know, but I mean, what?
Customer.
I know what keying a car is. I'm wondering.
There was a police report filed. Somebody had a pretty sharp knife to take to my bumper.
And what was it, just like a scratch, or?
There was a pretty good large pattern carved into the bumper.
What was the pattern?
Whole bunch of V's or W's.
Okay. All right. And then what's happening around the job site there? Again, in addition to the things you've said.
Even though he's told to stay away from me, he loves to come into my department and wave in my face or smile at me. He waits into my department. I've taken pictures of him and send them to coworkers. Here he is again waiting for me so he can follow me out into the parking lot. Coworkers, kind of find it funny, but I'll snap a picture and send it to him just in case I don't make it home. He is standing here again. He refers to me as some pretty choice words to other coworkers, which I have in statements also.
What is he, again, we're in court, we're adults here. You can say what he said.
Oh, he loves to call me a bitch. He loves to call me crazy. He has quite the vocabulary with many females in the store.
Let me hear from him, and I may have some questions for you in a minute. Did you want to file that stuff?
Could I give it to you?
Yeah. And if you give it to me, then it's not coming back. It's going to go into the court file. And then, I'm going to tell you what I have. I have a statement from Andrea, Muehe. I'm not sure how to say that. Stephen Geiger, and then Louis Aller. And those are statements, and I haven't read. I may read them in a minute, and then I'll tell you what I read and then give you a chance to respond. But for now, could you raise your right hand? Do you swear and affirm the testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay. What's your response to what you've heard?
They're all basically false allegations. I really don't have any contact with her at all. I never go into her department when she's over there. She referring to the 2 years ago when I started working there, I started parking in the spot. She didn't like it because it was her spot. And to be honest, I don't even park in that spot anymore. It's very childish behavior. I have a knife sharpening business. I don't carry any knives with me. I don't sharpen in the parking lot. I these are all false allegations. The incident with the freezer, I mean, I've been there 2 years. She walks by department every time. She claims I don't like women. I have women that I work with that we have a inner store communication that they appreciate my working with me and they like me. And the 3 people that she's talking about, Andrea, which I barely know, she works in the pharmacy. It's her friend, and I've maybe said one word to her. I went to the pharmacy one time to help out to get some cough drops, and she was rude to me, told me to get in line. There was no one there, and I found out it's Alana's friend, and we don't have any communication at all. And I don't know whatever Stephen wrote. Stephen, I don't know. And then Louis is a disgruntled employee that worked in the meat department with us. And I've talked to numerous people in that store. She has a history of this stuff, of filing sexual harassment suits against people. She did 3 people in the meat department alone before I got there. I only have 6 months left to retire, and I'm just trying to get through this. I try to avoid her as much as I can because I knew she was trouble from the very beginning with the parking lot incident, because we don't have assigned parking. Her husband came into the parking lot and called me names and told me I was a jerk for parking in her spot. He's
right back here, so I can hear from him too.
Okay. From who?
I said, no, her husband is in court in the back.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, he came in and hassled me in the parking lot. She's taking pictures of me. I just found that out not too recent ago. Like, where am I following her? It's like I have no reason. Or I lost my train of thought. I don't know.
So if you had any, I mean, what she said, she's talked to management about this. Has management ever talked to you about this?
They told me, because the freezer we both use, the freezer, they said, try to stay away from her, Mark. And there's been times where I've been in the freezer and she's come in there and vice versa. It's just, we both use that freezer. I've never had any contact with her. And the incident with that triggered her to do this was, I was just trying to go into the freezer door with my cart before it shut, because that thing is a huge door and it's very heavy. And I was just trying to get in there so I didn't have to stop my cart. And she claimed that I knocked the wind out of her, I hit her, and the door, she popped out behind it when the door stopped. And I said, "Oh, sorry." And she goes, "You're coming in kind of hard." I said, "I'm sorry." And that was the end of it. She's just made all this stuff. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. There was an employee there about 8 months ago that was online looking for reviews about her, because she does pickup at our store. And she found a review of me, and she goes, "Mark, this is not you. What is this?" And I'm like, "I don't know, whatever." And then her immediate supervisor, manager, I asked, I go, "Who is it about?" It was a few months later. I said, "Who is this person online?" Mason. And oh, that's Lana's son. He wrote a review about me, which was a lie. He doesn't even shop in there. He's just a kid. And I went back to check. I screen capped him too. I have it. Then she did another review about 2 months ago, under the same name, but it was a different icon. And they're the same person, because they both have reviews of Laughlin or wherever they go, Bullhead City or wherever they go. But quite the contrary, she's been harassing me, but I just try to steer clear of her, Your Honor, because I know that she's nothing for trouble, because she has a history of filing. She was going to sue a supervisor in this store that comes in. People stay away from her because they're scared of her. Management, the only thing they talked to me about was just try to stay away from her, Mark. They've done nothing to me because I've done nothing wrong, Your Honor. And I just
hang on just a minute.
Okay.
Okay. Anything further there, Mr. Antonora?
Nothing I can think of at the moment.
When did you get served with this?
Friday. Had just left work, and
No, he didn't. It was last Monday.
and would you let me speak, please? Friday, I was at work and I had left, and the police came, and my manager called me, and I talked to the police, and I told them I would pick it up Monday on the way into work, because I didn't want them here at work making a scene.
Monday, last month, a week ago?
Yeah, yes.
And and then this is all at QFC, right? Do
Correct.
they know about this?
I've tried to keep them updated and informed as much as possible.
Anybody talk to you about this, Mr. Antonora?
About this current situation?
Yeah, about this order. There's an order in place right now.
I told them about it. Yeah, and they know about it. Yeah, they've reviewed it. They know about the incident where her husband came to the parking lot to harass me. I don't have any other information about what, but I've talked to the people, and she's done this before many a times. And I'm just, I'm trying to steer clear of her, because it's happened to me now. I'm another, whatever.
So what's your position on, and I'm gonna tell me specifically what happened with her husband in the parking lot, then I'll bring you up, sir.
He come driving up to me one day. I'd only been in this working, so it's 2 years ago, almost to the day. And he came and rolled down his window. He goes, "You're a jerk. That's my wife's parking spot. She's been parking there for 16 years. I go, "We don't have any assigned parking here." So, and I never, any vulgarity at them, nothing. And that was it. And then I pretty much stayed away from them as much as I could, because he comes, picks her up for lunch and stuff sometimes. And I have you can look at the QFC Google reviews, and she's made lies about her coming and asking for customer service, and it's just,
you can take a seat there.
Yep. There's no validity to any of those allegations.
So much about me.
And okay, could you raise your right hand? Yep. Do you swear and affirm the information and testimony you provide will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yep.
You can put your hand down. What's your version of what happened in the parking lot?
In the parking lot, I drove in and I nicely said, "Can you not park in my wife's spot? Why do you have to cause trouble?" And this gentleman started throwing himself around the parking lot, arms in the air, swearing and yelling. And I just rolled down the window, thought, he's crazy, I'm gonna drive off.
And how long ago did this happen?
Probably 2 years ago. And my wife comes home upset because she's been followed into the parking lot, which she has statements. I just want left alone. She just wants to go to work and do her job. And he has waited out the door for her. She's taking pictures and stuff.
Okay, I just want to know about the parking.
Yeah, so that's it. He just started throwing himself around.
Okay. So go ahead. I'll come back to you, ma'am. Tell me about, again, the waiting outside the door, the following around. What's that all
That
about?
was just actually, this started recently over the summer. It started in June. I started sending the pictures to Lacey Police. They put it in as evidence. It was, I don't know if a form of intimidation, showing me that he can do what he wants, but he would just stand. Starbucks is in the bakery area, and he'd stand there and just wait, and employees recognized it. At first it was like this.
Do you work in the Starbucks area?
I don't, I'm the cake decorator.
Okay. Keep going.
We just kind of, at first we thought, oh, here he is again, standing waiting. And then when I would clock off, I would come back and he would come out with me. And it became a pattern, I think, until he caught me taking a picture of him.
I never caught her.
What's your response to that, Mr. Antonora?
Never caught her. I'm clueless of where she came. There's a Starbucks that opened about 6 months ago, and I do talk to the Starbucks barista there. I forgot his name, but by what means? Why would I wait for her? And I've never walked out with her.
I'm wondering the same thing.
Yeah, it's like there's no to no means. I've never followed her to her car. I go in and out to lunch. I'm out of the time to go home. I'm gone. I'm out of there. I do not hang around that place. I got, like I said, Your Honor, I got 5 months left to serve, and I'm done. And it's just, like I said, she's got a history, and I'm her latest victim.
I don't know what he's talking about.
What, you
all
can
these
respond to that.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know why he knows so much about me. I don't know why he thinks he knows so much about me. I don't know where all this is coming from, where he thinks he's getting it, where he said there was 3 people in the seafood department that I've had
Filed sexual harassment claim again.
sexual harassment. I never had one. So I don't know where he's.
So you're saying you haven't made any complaints of sexual harassment?
In the seafood department, no. There was
Department.
one who.
Just be quiet, Mr. Antonora.
There was one gentleman who was in the deli and he was fired for alcohol on the job. It was nothing to do with me. He touched me inappropriately and they gave him a second chance. And he was fired for drinking.
So Mr. Antonora, anything you'd like to say?
No, thank you.
How long ago was that, ma'am?
5, 6 years ago.
All right. Give me a second here. How many complaints have you made to management about this?
We've had a handful of verbal conversations and 3 documentations.
I see. How long have you worked there, Mr. Antonora?
2 years.
How long have you worked there?
With QFC, 27 years.
Got it. All right, so here's what's going to happen today. There, you say you have, you're going to be, you said 6 months, then you said 5 months.
Yeah, less than 5 months and I'm gone.
So, how's he been lately in terms of waiting for you and so forth?
Since the protection order, I have seen hardly anything of him. But honestly, there's a pattern of him getting his hand slapped and him being, it's hard for him to control himself.
So here's what's going to happen here today there, Mr. Antonora, Ms. Mealing. You know, these orders, you know, it's not uncommon for folks to have to come to court. And then I'll hear frequently when I hear these, there are 2 different versions of the same set of facts. Unlawful harassment is defined as a knowing and willful course of conduct directed at a specific person that seriously alarms, annoys, harasses, or is detrimental to such person and serves no legitimate or lawful purpose. Course of conduct is defined as pattern of conduct composed of a series of acts over a period of time, however short, evidencing continuity of purpose means. And so, again, a lot of times, frequently, there's two different versions of what went on out there. I kind of have to listen and see what makes sense and weigh and assess credibility and so forth, and act accordingly. You know, I reviewed the petition and the statement. I've heard the testimony of both parties. And based on all that, I'll find that there's enough credible evidence where I'm going to enter an order. It's not going to have a distance restriction. I'm going to put the same language in there that was in there before, that you're just not to have contact with her. You're not, and you're not to have any contact with her while you're at work. And that means, you're saying, why would I wait for her? Yeah, that's a good question. And, it could be that you're doing that to annoy someone, which falls within the definition of harassment. So
Never done that,
the
Your
order's
Honor.
going to get entered, and then that's what's going to happen here today. It'll be in place for, the default is 1 year, but you'll be gone. And what you say actually happens and you're leaving there in between 5 and 6 months, then this will become a non-issue at that point. You wanted to say something?
Can we add, no, not to come around her house, not that he has, but I don't want anybody or her.
Yeah, he's
car.
just not going to have any contact with her.
Okay.
Coming to your house
Perfect.
would be contact. Would that be
Perfect.
considered a violation?
Okay.
Do you understand the parameters of this order there, Mr. Antonora?
Yes.
All right. And that's it for today.
Can I ask you, Your Honor? So
Yes,
we've worked together for 2 years,
right?
and I know you made your decision already. She's walked by my department every day she's worked there. I mean, if there was any type of harassment, she always, and I've never made any contact with her. It just, I don't want this to look bad on me, because I only have, like I said, 5 months left with the company. So how are we gonna work together? What is it?
Well, you're just not to.
We don't work together.
I understand if you work in the meat department, she works in the
bakery.
In the decorating department, you just
Yeah.
stay out of each other's apartment.
Okay.
I'm
So-
pretty confident she wants to stay away from you. And so
Yeah.
you need to stay away from her. And if she's in the refrigerator, whatever that is, and she's in there, you just want to have to wait for her to leave and then go in there when
Fine.
she's gone.
No
That would
problem.
be what I would say.
Yeah, I have
Not
no,
go,
I,
if you're there,
I
just
don't
turn
want-
around and go away.
I've never
I-
wanted any
I'm
contact.
not
with her.
making a finding with regard to that, with regard to that knife incident. I can't make any finding. Maybe that thing with the U-boat was an accident, but I think they're sufficient in terms of the evidence you say that they're sufficient of. But again, you're just, again, if she's there, come away. And you need, to be fair, you need to stay out of his department too. But I can't imagine why a cake decorator needs to go to the meat department. But anyway, that's what we're doing here today. And if you want to wait, you get a
No
copy
problem
of it.
staying with you, Your Honor.
And that'll be it for today. You can
Thank
get a
you.
copy of it off the district court website there, Mr. Antonora.
Thank you.
I think I would find anywhere else to work than where I had to worry about something like that. I got a little bit of Judge Fleischer. I'm trying to finish uploading it and get it ready. But Victoria had a good question there, Fozzie. Why are you referring to yourself in the third person? Everyone decided at the beginning of this that it looked just like you. And so thank you, everybody, for coming out. Julie's asking about why am I not doing this over in American Courts too? Well, me and ATX are working on something for American Courts too. And in the end, whenever you do a live stream like this, you don't want to monetize it while you're doing the stream, because they'll start throwing commercials on people. And so there's a lot of complications in that we're trying to work out. But it looks like my video is ready. So I'm going to go ahead and throw on. This is a little bit of Fleischer from today. So we'll consider this one a gift for everybody.
I just want to say the filing, so they're actually.
You good? Okay, great. Okay. You're gonna get a 7-day setting after you post. So feel free to get a different date.
Okay.
We need to make sure Mr. Kennedy signs the MOAP this time. I don't wanna,
I'm putting it out, I don't put it.
okay, good. I don't wanna make that mistake again. 'Cause
So you're setting the bond for housing?
on both, yeah. Okay, guys,
Thank you.
have fun. Great weekend.
Page 23, Paez.
Good morning, Mr. Paez Gonzalez.
Mr. Paez Gonzalez, you're charged with an indecent exposure with a previous conviction. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. You're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Okay.
Officers were dispatched to an apartment complex in Harris County, Texas. The complaining witness stated that he observed the defendant naked in the apartment pool and asked him to leave. The complaining witness stated he later observed the defendant naked while sitting on a patio bench while masturbating. When officers arrived on scene, the defendant continued masturbating while in the officer's presence.
I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case, Mr. Paez Gonzalez. If I test you for drugs and alcohol, what are you going to test positive for? I'm sending you now for a drug and alcohol test. I want to know what, if anything, you're going to test positive for. You're to come right back. If you fail to come back, I'm going to revoke your bond and I'm going to make it high. Do you understand? Hey, Vic.
Yes.
I'm sending him for a drug test.
Okay.
And then when he comes back, we'll appoint him someone. But you are to come right back after your drug test. Do you understand? Okay, head on over that way.
Right this way.
We still need to do a whole host of conditions after the fact, but do it after the drug test. I'm coming out, but you're next.
Yes, sir.
Hopkins.
You want to sign for that?
Mr. Balance, Your Honor.
Good morning, Mr. Balance. So your lawyers are bringing you, or your lawyer is bringing you out here because she's asking me to set you a bond. I don't know. I don't know anything about you. My main concern are two. Number one, are you a danger to our public? Number two, if you are not a danger, are you going to go back? Both of those are evidenced by how you look on paper, what kind of criminal history you have. When is the last time you've gotten in trouble? If so, we'll go into that now and determine all these questions.
At this time, the state's asking for no bond. It doesn't have any criminal history, but we are concerned about the facts surrounding this charge. He
Okay.
wanted out of Polk County, Florida, and I do have the probable cause on this one.
Ish.
On or about October 7th, 2024, the defendant made two separate calls to the Polk County Sheriff's Office. In their first call, the defendant alleged that he had dispatched or killed a police officer, and he asked to take the officer's vehicle to return it to the sheriff's office. After refusing to provide more info to the call taker, defendant then stated he would dump the car in a canal. During his second call to the sheriff's office, defendant questioned how often the sheriff's office calls to check on their officers, and how long it would take for them to know that one guy had not called in and was in a problem. Defendant stated that his line of questions was for him. Sheriff office conducted a countrywide well-being check on deputies and officers and found none to be harmed. Under these exigent circumstances, defendant was then traced back by ID and phone carrier as well as caller ID. The FBI had previously ID'd defendant in January of 2024 as having made several threats about killing law enforcement officers on a YouTube video, which I have those statements if you want to hear them, but Defendant had also made several calls to other jurisdictions, including Kentucky and Tampa, that he had drowned or killed a few. So we are concerned about the danger.
So he's made similar calls in other states as well? I mean, was he living in those states? Just calls from Florida?
So he called Kentucky. He also called Tampa. The YouTube comments he left in January 2024 did ask suggestions of what state to shoot a cop. We're concerned about the facts around it.
When did this happen? So is it a 2B? Was he charged and then fled?
So the offense happened earlier this month on October 7th. It was issued.
Wow, I mean, that's 4 days ago.
Issued October 8th.
Was he here? Was he over there? It just randomly called a different county in Florida? Just
The address they have for him is in Florida.
say it again?
The address that they have for him is in Delray Beach, Florida. I can also call you if you need him, but
Being what's going on in Florida now, how long is it gonna even take to get them over here to get him?
I mean, you'd be setting him out for 14 days, so it'd be 2 weeks.
I know that you're setting him out for 2 weeks, but are they gonna have the manpower to even come get him at that time? You know, I think that there's a lot of other priorities. I mean, there's still millions of people without power. Right, and that adds it. So I'm going to presume that they're not gonna get him in 14 days. They're gonna want an extension at their minimum. So I don't know, Sonia, it's just.
Bond has been set on one of the two charges. The charge they're not gonna set a bond until he actually makes the first appearance.
What was the bond set at, do you know?
5,000 on one case, and the other case is 0 bond.
Yeah, no bond until he has his first appearance on the.
Are they're both felonies, I would presume?
Yes, a felony 2 in the public. Day says the sheriff's office is open and should let us know within a day or 2 if they can.
What do you do with yourself these days, Mr. Roy?
I work for a company that hosts events. I'm a facilitator trainer. I train automotive salespeople on new products for different companies. I travel, they travel me. We set up a big event like for Toyota, for instance. They bring out all the regional salespeople, and then we make presentations presenting the new products, have them drive the cars. May I add something or
Sure.
I did live in Florida. I know I had a bad night with all this stuff. I got divorced about a year ago before I moved up here. This was
Don't talk about the cases.
okay. I understand. They informed me, but I'm not a danger. I don't have a record. I don't have any ill will, or whatever happened was a one-off. I understand. I did acquire counsel so that I can resolve this issue. I have no intention of harming. I've asked for extensions for work and everything so that I can go down and take care of this. I will get myself down, even if it means waiting a little bit or dealing with the problems with the hurricane. I can.
Do you have any weapons?
No, nothing. One bedroom apartment. Yeah.
Is there any way to search if someone has a weapon, a registered weapon, somehow through a database? You know, when you buy a weapon,
I know it goes to the ATF, but there is not.
Is there a way?
There's an ATF report you can draft it, but it takes a while to get back to it. It's not like an instant thing like ALC, ITTC.
You know, I want to make sure that he doesn't have any weapons.
He also has conditions requested by law enforcement officers not to have that.
I know that, but I want to know, does he have any weapons at his disposal? If we let him out, he's going to go harm someone. I mean, it scares me. How long do you think we can know whether he has any registered weapons or not?
Sometimes it takes weeks, Judge. It depends on the investigator, who they know an ATF that can draft a report. It's really, there's no time frame.
Dave says that he can look up the firearm if you give him a second. He also said it's not a one-off and that FBI had him in January 2024.
Say it again?
He also says that it's not a one-off since the FBI had him in January of 2024 earlier for the YouTube comments. And Polk County had the call just earlier this month.
So it's 3 different places.
Well, he wanted to hear from Polk County on this one. He did have that earlier event in January 2024 for FBI.
I mean, it's scary that, you know, the good thing is that they'll be here within 2 weeks to get you. Mr. Roy, you got to understand that this really scares me. I mean, this is not a one-off. You're making YouTube comments. Now you're making actual phone calls that allegedly that you're, you know, killed an officer.
I made a comment on a YouTube, it was something.
No,
I understand, something I saw that made me angry possibly, but not having to do. I understand.
Don't. It's, if it was a one-off perhaps, but over and over. And so let me think about it. And I want to know if you have any registered weapons first off, and then, you know, well, I'll get back to you. Okay. All right. Thanks. Hey, you ready? Hey, come on. Or hold on a second. I got Justin. Justin's waiting.
All right, I got to do some more editing. I didn't have that one there ready for us just yet. I'm still trying to make the decision on whether to show it or not. Judge Fleischer didn't stream today on YouTube. He's got his regular link on the Zoom docket, but make sure to show support for him. No clue what's going on. Don't need to know what's going on. That's his business. But make sure anything you say is positive, and make sure that it's carried over, that we are very supportive. We're going to show some more Judge Simpson, and we're going to move on.
Or does call the case, People versus Rebecca Valentine.
That's Lonnie for the people. Assistant Public Defender Chinaze Carey Akinwumi on behalf of Rebecca Valentine, Your Honor.
Valentine, can you state your name, please?
Yes, and I did say I want to represent myself, so I don't know where that communication was filled. Rebecca Valentine, I don't wish to have an attorney represent me.
Okay, you want to represent yourself in this matter?
Yes.
Okay, so what do you want to do today if that were the case?
What are my options?
Pardon?
What are my options?
I can't apprise you of that, ma'am. I can't give you legal advice.
Probably just adjourn it for 2 weeks and they could let me know what they want to do next.
Have you spoken to the public defender or an attorney at all, ma'am?
Yes, she was very inconvenient and not communicated with me, and I let her know I would like to represent myself. I think that you're allowed to tell me like reasonable information, and then I can make a reasonable choice about my own representation. Is that not, am I right?
Well, thank you for letting me know what my job is, but that's not how it works.
You're welcome, but I would think you should know this already.
October 24th, 2024, 9 a.m.
Sounds good.
I'll consider that a waiver of her time requirements. Bond continue. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Should I put anything on the record?
What'd you say?
I guess it would be fair. For the record, Your Honor, I did try and reach out to Ms. Valentine.
How'd that go?
It didn't go very well, Your Honor.
Oh, I'm just asking. I don't know. You don't have to answer me. That would be privileged. Did it go as well as my conversation just now?
You actually heard her voice. So
Oh, okay. That must be part of my charm.
Versus Christopher Page, case number 24 FB 1265.
All right, looks like I got a few of them mixed up, so I'm gonna jump over to one that I'm certain of. So let's look over here.
Let's call the case of People versus DeAndre Moore.
Alexis Erskine, attorney on behalf of Mr. Moore.
I did send him the Zoom information via email. I have had,
I know something.
Your Honor, I've not had contact with him prior.
Really? I couldn't tell that because you didn't know he was here. What is this show? Oh. He owes $1,318.
Your Honor, he indicated
Told
that.
me he has it today.
Your Honor, he indicated that he could have a couple months to get it completely paid off.
Needs how much, Sam?
A few months. I don't want to do no payment plan.
You just want to. So when are you going to get it done? I mean, you got to give me
like 2-3 months. Just give me a date and time. I'm gonna have it paid. I ain't trying to do no 100 a month.
Then I'll say today. You need, young man, tell me how much time you need to get it done. I mean, I don't want to have to keep dragging you back here. So
3 months.
3 months? Okay, this is October, November, December. Oh, that'll be a new year. I don't know. He's like, man, just all right. You don't want a payment plan. You're gonna be able to do this, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll indicate.
Gonna take
Defendant to pay.
Paying it off.
What do you say?
Payment plan is gonna take longer than just paying it off.
I know. We've been waiting for a few years, so. Defendant to pay balance by, I'll make it January 10th, 2025. Don't forget, okay?
Yeah, I ain't.
Yeah, don't say, really? Really? See,
I don't like being here, man. It's making me nervous, man.
Why do it make you? I'm nervous too. Don't worry about it. Just relax. Relax. You're making me nervous. So January 10th, 2025. All right. Get it paid off. All right. Then you don't have to come back here and be nervous.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Does call the case of the people versus Nikita Franklin. Sir. No. Good morning. No counsel.
Mr. Franklin, please state your name.
Nikita Franklin.
Teresa Blair on behalf of probation. Your Honor, Mr. Franklin is before the court for a violation of probation. Mr. Franklin, Your Honor, has gotten everything done, excepting he still has a balance on his fines. He has maxed his probation term with this court. I can update the court. Mr. Franklin did make $120 payment today.
Okay.
So his new ending balance is $540. Since Mr. Franklin has been on probation, he has made a lot of big improvements. Given that he did complete the MRT program, he did stay in communication with me throughout all of the 2 years that he's been on. He's also, he attended WCC last year for 1 semester, starting the HVAC program that he did complete it and pass. However, that was really stressful for him. So he's not pursuing it right now. He is working. I know that's what I said to him as well. But given all of that, and that it's the remaining monies that probation is asking to discharge Mr. Franklin from probation with improvement, that the court set forth a payment plan for him to pay the balance. Given that he paid $120 today, I'm asking that he make another $100 payment by the end of the month, then $220 per month, with a court review hearing on December 17th, 2024 at 1 p.m. for that docket to verify that he followed through with the payment plan set by the court.
All right. Mr. Franklin, anything you want to say?
It's just been a journey for me. It's been chaotic, but I just feel like
when I was younger, I couldn't like comply with probation, but it's getting better for me, like, you know, and I don't want to do this no more, you know, sir. But that's about it.
Okay. So why aren't you pursuing HVAC? You
Um,
went to school, you did all of it, you passed it, got,
yes, it was so much with like, because you got to take like a welding class, and it's like it was so much. I just, you know, I think I would pursue it like after, you know, I got the election and everything, see what's going on, you know, and everything like that. You know, I'm just trying to prepare myself for and my children as well, sir. You know.
sounds like excuses.
Hey,
Didn't it? It did.
hey, school is really like I don't know. I don't know if school is for me, like with the homework and it's so much. I would rather.
Here's the thing. I'm listening to you and I teach, so I hear you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
But I think part of what's going through your head is you got yourself in this thing, don't know if that's for you. And so in this certain respect, that becomes overwhelming.
Yes, sir.
And then the other thing is that while you're there, you've seen other things that you hadn't seen before and seen other students that are doing things that you hadn't seen before.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
So now you're trying to figure it out, and all those things are flying around in your head. And the problem is, if you don't do something, you'll do nothing.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So you're young. Get yourself back in school. Explore all of the things there. Something will ultimately hit you.
Yes, sir.
And then, if you're lucky, and most people are in this respect, you'll find it, you'll love it, and that's what you'll do. And it may be something you never even thought that you would do. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
You can do it.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, sir.
I'll discharge the defendant from probation with improvement. You paid the $120. When can you pay the next $100?
I get paid again October 18th.
October 18th?
And then so on and so forth. I'm just like every 2 weeks, it's like a bi-weekly pay job.
Okay.
So I'm just jot it off.
Gotcha. So you can pay the 100 by the 18th, you think? Or you,
yes, I can. I can pay
okay.
100 by the 18th, sir.
So pay the 100 by the 18th of October. And then what I'll do is I'll order. How many kids you have?
Honestly, sir.
Okay, let's start there.
I got 7 sons and 3 daughters. Seriously, it's been
10?
Yeah, it's been a long road, sir. Seriously. That's why I get up every day, go to work, tired. I be in critical sometimes, you know, critical condition, but I still
10?
10.
And 7 boys.
Yep, 7 boys and 3 daughters.
You know what? You're going to figure it out. But I'm just going to tell you this if you haven't figured it out yet. The sons, although there are 7, are going to cost you less. All right. I'm just letting you know. Okay. Young man, are you going to be able to do it? Are you, listen,
child support?
Just, I know. Just listen.
Yes.
Are you going to be able to do the $220 a month?
It's like,
I mean, realistically.
Like I owe $540, sir. Like I've been on probation for 2 years and I haven't I don't know how, I couldn't finish this balance. Like, sir, it took me 2 years to pay. I think I owe $1,050 or something, $1,050. And currently I owe $540 and I don't understand with life expenses and everything going on, I don't understand. But this is where I'm at today, $540. I really don't understand it, but I feel like I can. I feel like I can, I need to comply. I'm telling you I'm gonna comply, so I'm gonna do it, sir. That's what I'm gonna do.
Nikita, asking you a question. Do you pay the 220 a month. He's asking you, what can you afford?
I feel like I can do it. Like if you like, I don't understand. I've been paying like so much. It's been going, you know.
With your child support, you can afford 220?
It's gonna put me in like debt until I get paid again. But you know, like kind of like okay,
So what can you afford, Nikki?
that's like I don't know. I don't know. Like life happens.
Listen,
everything happens. Like anything can happen. Like I could get a call right now. Like you know, it's like anything. You know, since I don't know, like where my money is placed, it's basically anywhere. It's in the air. With all those children and like life expenses, my money is just in the air. I like seriously, sir. I don't know what I can afford. Seriously, and that's just being honest.
I know, and that's what I was trying to get you to say. Because
I apologize.
know,
I apologize.
No, you don't have to apologize. You just impressed me as the kind of guy that does what you got to do. And I appreciate that. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So you don't need to apologize. Somehow I can imagine trying to juggle with 10 kids. The reality is life is about you just do what you got to do.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, like
so when anybody asks you the question, can you do it? It's hard for you to just say, maybe it's something else I got to do, because everything is kind of all over the place.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Am I wrong about any of that?
No, sir.
All right. So sometimes, Nikita, and I heard Miss Polera, she was just asking you, and sometimes you just got to say, I can't do this. And that's okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay? I mean, sometimes you can't.
I can't. Seriously, it's so hard. Like I don't. It's like a runathon, but I'm not. It's not. I'm not.
You're not getting any.
But
You're not getting anywhere.
yeah, I'm not going nowhere. Nowhere, sir. I apologize, sir.
I don't think that that's entirely true. That you're not going anywhere. It just, for you, it feels like you're not going anywhere.
Yes, sir. I feel stagnant in one position.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you were told you had to pay the 220. To use the old phrase, kind of rob Peter, pay Paul, got the 120 up. But somewhere, you don't have to tell me, but somewhere that 120 was supposed to be someplace else. And now you're trying to figure out how I'm going to get that 120 or whatever it is to do what I got to do that I took that from.
Seriously, sir, like gas money for the week. And
I know.
Thank you so much, sir.
All right.
Yo, you just did that for me. I couldn't even. You just orchestrated that for me, sir. That's exactly. I just had to. Like I was supposed to pay 220, and I had to ask for 120 just to, you know, sir. You know what I'm saying? So that's amazing.
Nikita, you wanted to do the right thing, and I appreciate that.
I appreciate you, sir.
And you just, but I couldn't do it all. But I was going to show you because I think you're a stand-up man.
I appreciate you, sir.
You just were going to do what I could. And so I can tell you what I can do. All right. So sometimes, Nikita, although you're scrambling around and you're doing that, sometimes that deserves some benefit.
I appreciate it.
Okay. So I'm discharging from probation with improvement. And you pay the $100 come your check on the 18th, your next check is November 1st, right?
Yes, sir.
So pay that $100. Don't do it until November 1st, because somehow or another you'll be scrambling trying to do whatever.
Okay.
Pay that $100 by November 1st, 2024. Here's what I'm going to do for you. But at some point you pay it forward, and maybe you can pay it forward with your kids. And because they're going to need something, you may not think they need it, but you just got to do it. And you just remember this day. You pay that $100 November 1st, and then I'm going to waive the rest of the balance. And then I don't need a review date.
That sounds amazing, sir. I appreciate you as well. Like, seriously.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I really appreciate you, sir.
You know what I should do?
Huh?
I should make you tell me the names of all 10 of those kids, but I know you're gonna get about 4 wrong. Go on. I got 2 and I can't keep them
Should I
straight.
tell them? I could tell them all of them. So I have Namari, Nina, Naomi, Nico, Nasir, Navier. I got Noah, Namir, and I have a Naomi.
Hold it. I had 2 Namirs.
2 Namirs?
Yeah, you duplicated. No, go on. Go on, Nikita.
That's what it was.
Oh, okay. All right. You take care, young man.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, right? Thank you.
Alexis Earp, student attorney, on behalf of Ms. Smith, who's approaching. Can you please state your name for the record?
Marion Smith.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Teresa Claire on behalf of probation. Your Honor, Ms. Smith is before the court for a final review hearing on a prosecutor deferred sentence. She did complete all terms ordered by the court. Probation did not waive her appearances. This court indicated that she must appear for her final review. Probation recommended that the court dismiss her case pursuant to the prosecutor deferred and discharge her from probation.
We'd have no objection to that, Your Honor.
Anything you want to say?
I have no objection either.
All right. I'm
And
glad.
thank you.
Pardon?
And thank you
For what?
for letting this be over. I thank everybody, really. I appreciate it wholeheartedly.
Well, we thank you.
Thank
for
you.
getting it all done and getting everything. Now, you still living here?
Yes, for 10 more days.
That's right, because you're headed to Texas.
Got it.
Which part?
Arlington, actually Grand Prairie, but I'll be moving to
Okay.
Arlington. Yeah.
Okay, I know where that is. All right. So we're gonna lose a Michigander.
I'll be back. My mom's here, so I'll visit. That's it.
Late mom, everybody.
I know.
Just taking off.
I have to.
New adventure. Are you excited about it?
Oh, I'm so excited. I'm just every day I'm marking it off on the calendar, literally every day.
All right.
Yes.
So don't come back saying it's too hot.
I'll handle it.
Okay. All right. Well, very proudly, I say this case is dismissed pursuant to the prosecutor's deferred sentence program. The defendant is discharged from probation with improvement. This case closes. Good luck to you. Godspeed on your journey.
Thank you, Godspeed. Thank you, sweetheart.
What, you wanted to do something else?
Whatever I need to give her, I'll give it to her.
Oh, okay. Go on, be a Texan. You too. Court calls the case of the people versus Chelsea, is it Bodine?
Symbolic defendant Emily Kick on behalf of Bogadane, whose appearance has been waived.
Claire on behalf of probation. Your Honor, Ms. Bogadane was scheduled before for a final review hearing. She did complete all terms ordered by the court. Probation's recommending that the court dismiss the case pursuant to the prosecutor's probation.
No objection.
So ordered. Court does call the
Hey,
case of the people.
it only shows I got about 30 seconds left of this clip, and I don't know what the heck's on it, so I'm assuming there's not going to be anything interesting. Thank you, Nan, for joining the team of moderators. We really appreciate it. We're a small group, but we're growing, and we certainly appreciate you jumping on the team there. We're going to do lives tomorrow night and Sunday night, and we may have something new for you, but we're still working on it, so we don't want to talk about it just yet. Thank you, everybody, for going there. That young girl, Haley, in Judge Simpson's court, she had her final hearing today for her landlord-tenant issue, and it worked out great. Everybody that was able to help her out really came through for her, and so she had a great day. We will jump off this, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Thank you all, and remember to be nice to each other, especially in the chats. All right, bye.